September 1 is not an ordinary day. It is a date that demands awareness, a moment that calls for awakening. Too many times, people move through life in a haze, repeating the same patterns, stuck in the same cycles, blind to the opportunities that stand before them. But September 1 does not allow blindness. It is a wake-up call. It shakes you, it stirs you. It forces you to realize that time is moving, life is happening, and you can no longer afford to sleep through your own existence. This date arrives as a reminder that life will not wait for your hesitation. September 1 is the line between yesterday's weakness and tomorrow's strength. It whispers that the excuses of the past no longer belong to you. It tears away the comfort of old habits and shines light on the reality that change must be chosen. If you ignore it, the weight of regret will grow heavier. If you embrace it, the path forward becomes clear. This day brings the fire of awakening, the demand to stand tall, to face the truth of where you are, and to decide who you are becoming. The awakening of September 1 is not gentle. It does not comfort you with soft words. It shakes you. It confronts you with the truth that everything you wish for will not simply appear. It must be built. It must be earned. And it begins with clarity. Without clarity, your steps are wasted. Without awareness, your days are lost. September 1 brings clarity if you are willing to open your eyes. It shows you where you have been blind. It reveals where your strength has been ignored, where your time has been wasted, where your discipline has been abandoned. This awakening is not about the outside world. It is not about politics, weather, or circumstances. It is about you. It is about the battle you fight with yourself every day, the laziness that whispers to sleep longer, the fear that convinces you to stay quiet, the doubts that tell you it is too late. On September 1, those voices grow louder, but not to destroy you. They rise so you can confront them. They rise so you can awaken. The power of this day lies in its demand. It demands that you stop pretending. Stop saying tomorrow. Stop delaying your growth. September 1 is the time to begin, the time to rise, the time to break free from the comfort of the familiar, because comfort is the enemy of progress. And this date burns away comfort with the heat of reality. If you want more, you must do more. If you want strength, you must train it. If you want clarity, you must discipline the mind. And all of it begins the moment you decide to awaken. The awakening of September 1 is dramatic because it changes the way you see life. It shows you that everything you desire already lies within you. You are not missing pieces. You are not broken. What you need is awareness. The awareness to see the truth that growth does not come from luck. It comes from effort. Success does not come from waiting. It comes from movement. Peace does not come from escape. It comes from mastery of self. September 1 is the day you stop searching outside and start uncovering what has always been within. Imagine the weight of years spent asleep, years spent ignoring your own power, years wasted in distraction. September 1 is the alarm clock. It does not allow you to close your eyes again. It forces you to recognize that life is fragile, time is short, and the world will not slow down for you. It commands you to wake up, to take ownership of your path, to stop drifting and start steering, to stop wishing and start working. The truth is simple. September 1 is the turning point. Either you awaken or you remain trapped. Either you rise or you remain in the shadows. The choice belongs to you, but the day itself brings energy that cannot be ignored. It carries the vibration of change, the spark of renewal, the thunder that cracks open the sky of your old life and reveals the light of something greater. This awakening is not temporary. It is not a burst of motivation that fades. It is a decision to be conscious every single day that follows, a decision to stop drifting back into the fog, a decision to live with eyes open, with heart steady, with spirit unshaken. September 1 is not a single moment. It is the doorway. Once you step through, you cannot return to who you were. Awakening means discipline. Awakening means responsibility. Awakening means no longer blaming others, no longer hiding behind excuses, no longer waiting for the right moment. September 1 strips away the illusion of waiting. It says, this is the moment. It teaches that there is no other day more powerful than now. There is no other chance more real than today. September 1 will not pass quietly. It will not whisper to you gently. It will strike like thunder. It will shake your life forever if you let it. And in that shaking, in that storm, you will find yourself awakened to the truth you have always known deep inside. You were meant for more. You were built for growth. You were created to rise. And now the time has come. September 1 is your awakening. September 1 is the call. September 1 is the day you finally open your eyes and begin to live. September 1 carries with it the force to break what has been chaining you for years. It is not a soft reminder. It is a command to release what no longer serves you. Too often, people walk through life tied down by invisible chains. Chains of doubt, chains of fear, chains of habits that destroy instead of build. September 1 arrives like a hammer that smashes those chains, but only if you allow it. If you continue holding on, then the weight remains. If you decide to let go, you discover freedom. The chains of the past are heavy. They come from excuses you have repeated so many times that you began to believe them. They come from mistakes that you replay in your mind. Mistakes that you have allowed to define your future. They come from people's voices that told you you cannot. Voices that you carried as truth instead of leaving them behind. September 1 is the day to stop carrying all of this. It is the day to break free. This breaking is not gentle. It hurts because you are leaving behind parts of yourself that you have lived with for too long. The old version of you, comfortable in weakness, does not want to die. It clings, it resists, but September 1 pushes you to cut it away, to rip it from your spirit and burn it. Without this pain, there is no growth. Without this break, there is no new beginning. Think of the habits that chain you. The comfort of laziness, the distraction of endless noise, the weakness of always choosing what is easy. These are chains, and every time you accept them, they tighten around your life. September 1 is the warning that if you do not break them now, they will break you later. The longer you wait, the heavier they grow. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes to move forward. This day calls you to act before it is too late. The chains of fear are even stronger. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. Fear is a liar, and it whispers that staying where you are is safer. But September 1 is not about safety. It is about growth. Growth never lives inside comfort. Growth lives in the unknown. Growth is born when fear is faced directly. On September 1, you are given the chance to break this chain, not by avoiding fear, but by walking straight through it. When you confront fear, it dissolves. When you run from fear, it grows. Another chain that must be broken is the belief that your past defines you. September 1 is a new page, a new chapter, a clean beginning. But only if you choose it. If you keep carrying your past, then the future cannot arrive. If you keep replaying the same regrets, then you are trapped in yesterday. September 1 is the chance to put an end to the repetition, to break the loop, to stop telling the same story of loss, weakness, and failure, and instead write a new one of strength, courage, and victory. This breaking of chains is not only about removing what is negative, it is also about creating space for what is powerful. Imagine a room filled with junk. There is no space for anything new. Your life is the same. The chains clutter your path. They block your vision. They weigh your shoulders. Once they are gone, there is space for discipline, space for new habits, space for a mind that is sharp, a spirit that is steady, and a life that is rising higher every day. September 1 is not offering freedom as a gift. It demands that you take it by force. Freedom is earned. It is earned by choosing to do what is difficult. It is earned by refusing to stay a prisoner of your own weakness. It is earned by destroying the chains with your own hands. And the power to do this has always been within you. You have always had the strength to break free. The difference is that now this date forces you to see it. It is no longer hidden. The process will not be quiet. It will not be smooth. When chains break, there is noise. There is chaos. There is the sound of a life shattering and being rebuilt. But this is the sound of growth. This is the sound of change. September 1 is the storm that tears apart the cage so that you can finally step out and breathe. If you resist it, you remain a prisoner. If you embrace it, you walk into freedom. Understand this clearly. September 1 is not a suggestion, it is a turning point. It is the line between being trapped and being free, between being asleep and being alive, between being chained by excuses and walking forward in power. The decision cannot be delayed. The breaking must happen now. This date has been marked as the moment of release. It is the day when the excuses lose power, when the fears lose control, when the past loses its grip. It is the day when you decide that enough is enough. You no longer carry the chains. You no longer obey the old patterns. You no longer bow to weakness. September 1 is the day you break free, and once the chains fall, you never pick them up again. September 1 will test you in ways you have avoided for too long. It is not a day for empty promises or weak intentions. It is a day of discipline, the kind of discipline that demands your full strength, your full focus, your full commitment. Without discipline, no dream becomes reality. Without discipline, every plan remains a shadow. September 1 arrives to remind you that only through discipline can transformation take root and survive. On September 1, the illusions of quick results will fall apart. Life will show you that nothing lasting comes without effort. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. You may want success, you may want peace, you may want growth, but wanting is not enough. September 1 demands more. It demands that you wake early when you would rather sleep. It demands that you move when your body calls for rest. It demands that you hold steady when your mind tries to escape into distraction. This day will reveal who is serious and who is not. Discipline is not a punishment. It is a path. It is the sharp edge that cuts away weakness. On September 1, you are called to sharpen yourself against this edge, to accept the discomfort that discipline brings, because within that discomfort lies freedom. When you avoid discipline, you remain a prisoner of your impulses. When you embrace discipline, you take control of your life. September 1 is the test of whether you will remain a slave to comfort or become the master of your own will. The truth is simple. Discipline is the only force strong enough to break the cycle of wasted time. September 1 exposes this truth. It strips away the lies you tell yourself, the endless excuses of tomorrow, the habits that eat your strength. This day pushes you to recognize that every moment of discipline is a seed, and every seed grows into a future. Without planting, there is no harvest. Without effort, there is no reward. Without discipline, there is no transformation. On September 1, the world will not care about your feelings. It will not wait for your mood to improve. It will not pause while you gather motivation. Life moves forward, and discipline is the only way to keep pace. Discipline does not ask how you feel. It asks what you will do. It asks whether you can hold the line when comfort calls, whether you can stay true when doubt screams, whether you can push forward when every part of you wants to quit. September 1 confronts you with this choice. Do not mistake discipline for suffering. It is strength. It is the proof that you are in control, that your spirit is stronger than your impulses. September 1 will try to shake you to see if you can stay steady. It is easy to work when conditions are perfect. It is easy to move when you feel inspired. But discipline is not about the easy. It is about the moments when nothing in you wants to continue, yet you continue anyway. That is where the real power is born. The test of discipline on September 1 is not temporary. It is not about one act of effort and then returning to weakness. This day is a reminder that discipline is a way of living, a rhythm that repeats every day until it becomes who you are. You cannot fake it. You cannot borrow it. You must build it. brick by brick, action by action, choice by choice. September 1 is the day you lay the foundation, and what you build on top of it will define the rest of your life. Understand this: discipline creates freedom. Without discipline, you are trapped. You are at the mercy of distractions, impulses, and emotions. But with discipline, you are free. Free to direct your time, free to control your energy, free to create the future you choose. September 1 is the moment to claim that freedom through discipline. No one can give it to you. You must earn it. You must bleed for it. You must rise for it. September 1 is not a gentle reminder. It is a trial. It is a mirror showing you whether your words carry weight or whether they are hollow. It will separate those who live by their discipline from those who live by their excuses. And the difference will be clear. One will rise, one will remain the same. Discipline is the line that divides them. On this day, do not hide from the test. Do not seek comfort. Do not run back to the habits that have kept you weak. Stand firm, hold steady, push through the resistance. The discipline you forge on September 1 will echo in every day that follows. It will shape your mind, your body, your spirit. It will turn chaos into order, weakness into strength, dreams into reality. The truth cannot be denied. September 1 will test your discipline. It will ask if you are ready to live a life of purpose or if you will return to the chains of comfort. It will shake you. It will press you. It will demand everything from you. But if you endure, if you remain steady, if you refuse to bend, then you will discover the greatest power you possess, the power to master yourself. And when you master yourself, nothing in this world can master you. September 1 stands before you like a doorway into the unknown. It is not a day of certainty. It is not a day where every answer is handed to you. It is a day that forces you to step forward without knowing what waits ahead. Most people fear the unknown. They cling to the familiar, even when the familiar keeps them trapped. They stay in the same routine, in the same comfort, in the same cycle because it feels safe. But September 1 does not allow safety. It tears down the illusion of comfort and shows you that true growth only exists beyond what you already know. The unknown is not your enemy. It is the ground on which you build the new version of yourself. September 1 is the invitation to walk onto that ground. It is the moment to leave behind the small circle of what you understand and step into the wide space of what you do not yet know. Fear will rise inside you and your mind will tell you to turn back. But this day is a reminder that fear is a sign you are moving in the right direction. Where fear lives, growth lives. The mistake most people make is waiting for clarity before they act. They believe they must have every answer, every step, every detail prepared before they begin. But life does not work this way. September 1 teaches you that clarity comes after the step, not before it. When you move into the unknown, you discover strength you did not know you had. When you move into the unknown, you open doors that could never be seen from behind the wall of fear. The unknown is not chaos, it is possibility. On September 1, the choice is simply remain in the cage of the familiar or step into the mystery of growth. The cage feels safe because you know every corner of it, but it is still a cage. The unknown feels dangerous, but you cannot see it clearly, but it is freedom. Freedom requires risk. Freedom requires courage. September 1 is the day that demands courage, the day that forces you to walk where your old self refuses to go. Do not be fooled into thinking that the unknown will destroy you. It will not. What destroys you is staying in the same place, never changing, never rising, never daring. September 1 pushes you forward because the world outside your comfort zone holds the experiences, the lessons, the victories that your spirit has been waiting for. You cannot find them by staying still. You cannot discover them by repeating yesterday. You must step into the dark path of the unknown and trust that light will reveal itself as you move. This is why September 1 is dramatic. It is not a small adjustment. It is not about moving one step sideways in the same circle. It is about walking into the storm, into the uncertainty, into the mystery. And within that mystery, you are reborn. Each moment of uncertainty strips away the weakness of the old you. Each moment of fear confronted builds the strength of the new you. The unknown is not a threat, it is your training ground. September 1 will not give you permission to wait until you are ready. It tells you that waiting is over. Readiness is not something you find, it is something you create by acting. If you keep waiting for perfect conditions, they will never come. If you keep waiting for absolute certainty, life will pass you by. This day demands that you move without the full map, that you trust your own strength more than your doubts, that you take the step even while fear whispers in your ear. The unknown is not empty. It is full of new lessons, full of new strength, full of opportunities that the old version of you was blind to. September 1 pulls back the curtain and forces you to see that your growth is waiting on the other side of uncertainty. Every great change in your life will come from stepping into what you cannot fully control. Every breakthrough is hidden in what feels uncomfortable. Every victory is born in what once felt impossible. This day shakes you because it wants you to stop pretending that comfort is your friend. Comfort kills potential. Comfort keeps you small. Comfort locks you in a life of repetition. But the unknown, though terrifying, is alive. It breathes with the fire of growth. It awakens the parts of you that have been sleeping. September 1 demands that you embrace it, that you do not run from it, that you step into it with both feet, knowing that every step forward makes you stronger. September 1 will remind you that fear cannot stop you unless you allow it. Fear is only energy, and when you face it, it transforms into power. The unknown is the space where that transformation happens. Do not see it as darkness. See it as the soil where your new self will grow. The soil looks empty until the seed is planted, but once the seed takes root, life emerges. In the same way, once you step into the unknown, strength emerges, clarity emerges, purpose emerges. On September 1, the unknown will stand in front of you like a wall. Some will retreat, some will wait, but the ones who rise will walk through it. And when you walk through, you will realize it was never a wall. It was a door into the life you were meant to live, a door into the version of yourself that has been waiting. September 1 is the day you step through, the day you stop hiding, the day you accept the unknown as the very path to your awakening. September 1 is the reminder that the greatest power you will ever know is already within you. It is not outside. It is not hidden in others. It is not waiting to be discovered in some distant place. It lives in your mind, in your spirit, in your actions. Too often, people search endlessly outside of themselves, chasing answers, chasing guidance, chasing shortcuts. But September 1 shakes this illusion and makes it clear the only real source of strength lies within. On this day, you will feel the truth pressing down on you. Your thoughts shape your reality. The way you think creates the world you live in. Negative thoughts build a negative life. Weak thoughts create weak actions. But when your thoughts are disciplined, when your mind is sharpened like a blade, every step you take becomes powerful. September 1 is the call to take full control of your mind, to stop letting random thoughts and old beliefs dictate the path of your life. It is the demand to rise as the master of your inner world. External change means nothing if the inner self remains unchanged. People repaint their lives, they change jobs, they move to new cities. They've changed the people around them. But if the same weak mind remains, the same weak results will follow. September 1 reminds you that transformation begins inside. You must build the foundation within before the outside world can shift. When the mind is steady, no storm can break you. When the spirit is strong, no obstacle can stop you. When the inner self is mastered, the outer world bends to your direction. This day exposes the lie that external circumstances control your destiny. Circumstances are temporary. They rise and they fall. They change like the weather. But your inner strength is not meant to be temporary. It is the anchor that holds you steady no matter how wild life becomes. September 1 demands that you stop blaming situations, stop blaming people, stop blaming the world. The power you seek has never been outside. It has always been inside, waiting for you to use it. September 1 is the breaking in point between weakness and mastery. Weakness looks outside and complains. Mastery looks within and acts. Weakness waits for help. Mastery builds its own strength. Weakness fears the storm. Mastery becomes the storm. This is why the day carries such force. It reveals whether you will continue giving your power away to everything outside of you or whether you will claim the power that is already yours. To claim it, you must train it. Just as the body grows strong through repetition, the mind grows powerful through discipline. September 1 is not a day of empty words. It is a day of practice. Each thought you allow becomes fuel. Each action you repeat becomes identity. Each choice you make builds the path of your life. This day is about aligning them all, sharpening them, directing them with clarity. The power within you is not activated by accident. It is awakened by conscious effort. Understand this. No one can hand you strength. No one can give you discipline. No one can place clarity in your mind. They can inspire you. They can guide you. But the actual work must be done by you. September 1 is the mirror that shows you this truth. It forces you to see that the one you are waiting for, the one who will save you, is you. You are both the problem and the solution. You are both the storm and the calm. You are both the chain and the key. When you begin to live from this awareness, everything changes. September 1 is the mark where you stop searching and start building, where you stop wishing and start acting, where you stop doubting and start trusting the strength within you. The outside world may continue to be chaotic, but it no longer matters because the power inside you is unshakable. This day is dramatic because it does not allow excuses anymore. It does not let you hide behind weakness. It shines a bright light on the truth that your inner world creates your outer reality. If you want to change what you see outside, you must first change what lives inside. That is the demand of September 1, to clean your thoughts, to strengthen your mind, to discipline your actions, to take ownership of your spirit. September 1 will shake your life forever if you accept this teaching. It will destroy the illusion that power is something you must chase. It will destroy the lie that your future depends on others. It will destroy the weakness of blaming and waiting. And in that destruction, a new truth is revealed you. You are powerful beyond measure. When you master your mind, you master your life. When you master your spirit, nothing outside can defeat you. This is the message carried by September 1. The power within you is not sleeping anymore. It rises with this day. It demands expression. It demands action. It demands that you stop hiding from yourself and begin to use what has always been yours. Once you awaken this inner power, there is no turning back. Life bends, reality shifts, growth accelerates. September 1 is the day that forces you to realize this truth. The day that pulls the power out of you, the day that proves you have always been enough. September 1 is not a day to wait. It is not a day to think endlessly, to plan endlessly, to dream endlessly without action. It is a day that demands movement, a day that calls you to act, a day that reminds you that your future will not be built by ideas alone, but by the decisions you take, the steps you walk, and the courage you show. September 1 is the warning that hesitation is the enemy. It is the call to break the silence of inaction and step forward into your own destiny. Every life changes the moment action replaces delay. And many people live with endless thoughts, endless wishes, endless desires, but they never move. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect chance, the perfect conditions. That perfect moment never arrives. September 1 exposes this lie. It tells you that waiting has cost you enough. It tells you that hesitation has already stolen too many years. It tells you that there will never be a perfect time. The only time is now. Action is not about being ready. Action is about being willing. On September 1, willingness is the key. You may not feel prepared. You may not feel strong, you may not feel certain, but willingness opens the door. When you act, you grow. When you act, you learn. When you act, you build momentum that no amount of thinking could ever create. This day pushes you to step into the fire of action and let it forge you into who you are meant to be. Action is where courage lives. It is easy to talk, easy to imagine, easy to plan, but all of it is meaningless without the step forward. September 1 demands courage through action, not the courage of words, but the courage of deeds, to rise when it is easier to sit, to speak when it is easier to stay silent, to move when it is easier to wait. This day forces you to face the truth. If you do not act, nothing changes. Understand this. Your growth will never come from what you think about doing. It will come only from what you do. September 1 is not about ideas. It is about execution. The greatest teacher is not theory, but experience. You cannot master the path by only studying it. You must walk it. You must stumble. You must bleed. You must rise again. The call of this day is clear. Take the step, no matter how small, but take it now. On September 1, the cost of inaction becomes visible. You will feel the weight of lost time. You will see how much of life has been wasted by waiting. The danger of inaction is greater than the risk of failure. Failure teaches. Waiting teaches nothing. Action moves you forward even when you fall. Waiting leaves you standing still while life passes you by. This day demands that you break the pattern and finally choose movement over hesitation. Action is not about speed, it is about consistency. September 1 teaches you that greatness is built by small steps repeated daily, not by one grand leap. Discipline without action is useless. Vision without action is empty. Strength without action is wasted. Every act, no matter how small, becomes part of the foundation of your future. And September 1 is the day you begin laying those stones with steady hands. The call to action is not only external, it is internal. September 1 tells you to act against your doubts, to act against your fears, to act against the voice that says, "Not today." Action is how you silence the inner resistance. Every time you act in spite of hesitation, you grow stronger. Every time you choose movement over delay, you weaken the grip of fear. This day is the training ground where your spirit learns to obey strength instead of weakness. Action is the proof of choice. Without action, your decision is only an idea. September 1 demands proof. If you claim you want growth, your actions must show it. If you claim you want change, your steps must reflect it. If you claim you want freedom, your movement must create it. Words fade. Thoughts vanish. Only actions remain. They carve the path of your life, and on this day, the carving begins with intention and ends with transformation. September 1 is dramatic because it leaves no space for excuses. You can no longer wait for conditions to improve. You can no longer stand at the edge of your own life watching. The time is now. The moment is here. This is the day when hesitation dies and action is born. The truth is clear. September 1 will not reward those who wait, but it will empower those who move. It will not comfort those who hesitate, but it will strengthen those who act. Action is the language of growth, the weapon of transformation, the proof of courage. September 1 is the command to speak this language with your deeds, to wield this weapon with your spirit, to prove your courage with your steps. On this day, let action replace delay. Let movement replace fear. Let discipline turn into deeds. Let vision turn into reality. September 1 will shake your life forever, not because of what it promises, but because of what you choose to do. And once you act, once you decide that hesitation no longer controls you, a new life begins. The chains break, the path opens, the future rises. September 1 is the call to action, and answering it is the beginning of everything.